The music magazine I produced is typical of the genre. I chose alternative and included lots of different artists and bands that could be found under this genre. I also included some up-to-date artists that are big in the charts, so my magazine would appeal to many audiences. My front cover follows the typical conventions of real media products. It includes the big bold masthead which stands out, price, date and issue number, along with the barcode and slogan which are typical features of a real magazine. And it also includes cell lines around the edge to appeal to target audiences. It also has a cover image on the front of a girl holding a microphone, and this makes it seem more like a music magazine than a fashion magazine. The cover model is the main feature of the page, as it is the feature of my double page spread. My contents page is also typical of the alternative genre. It includes the different sections like reviews, features and regulars, and also includes a band index which is very popular in music magazines. It has one main image of the feature story, and then smaller pictures of other stories in the magazine which makes it more real to life. I think the variety of images make the page stand out, as it has the photo shoot image of a cover model, and then smaller pictures I took of myself, of friends and gigs, which makes it seem more as a whole. I really enjoyed making my contents page, so it was fun to imagine all the different pages I would have and think of different content I would include if my magazine was real. The double page spread again are typical features of the magazine. I have included 2 pages, an introductory page and then the article. I think they follow the typical features of music magazine spreads. A variety of different images of the model, article, pull quotes and features like page numbers, photography notes, etc. To make it seem more real, the double page spreads 2 images from my photo shoot at different shot distances to make it seem more interesting. I also included 2 other images that I had taken at the model outside of school at a party to show a variety of shots used. My magazine is represented at a different social group, stands for alternative and indie music. My musicians featured in my magazine are represented through costume, body language, facial expressions and props. I wanted my artist to be a young indie role. I chose the clothes for the model to wear as I thought they gave a certain image. Things like combat boots and denim jackets gave a sort of individual feel to the shoot and showed she had edge, highlighting the name of the magazine. I also got the model to use a variety of body expressions and facial expressions. I didn't want her to just pose and smile as she looked too approachable and too like a pop artist. So I got some shots of the model looking away from the camera and using unusual poses to keep away from the fashion magazine look. The tone of the article is about being a young adult and having fun, looking back at your rebellious childhood years, and I used props like umbrellas and microphones to add some more fun in, to show that the artist is still young and audiences can identify with her. For my music magazine, I chose a company I don't have a similar product to mine or ready to publish. It would have to be a new and different to stand out and sell. I'd probably choose Condé Nast to publish my magazine. This is because it is a genre of a mix between alternative and indie, on the edge of R&B, and it would be more aimed at females, which I think most magazines they publish are, like Vogue and Glamour. It would then sell on its own as it is new and not similar to a product they already publish. The company would like my magazine as it includes typical features of music magazines but with a twist. It's more aimed at women by the colour scheme and content, as I think music magazines are generally directed more to men, so Condé Nast would enjoy in marketing the magazine. Classification of the type of the person that I would read my magazine would be in the E category, as they would mostly be university students or on their way to uni later school. I would say generally more females would read my magazine than males. They have become from a middle class family where they are relatively close to their parents but will use my magazine as an escape. The type of psychographics with my audience would be mainstreamers. They would follow the latest trends, listen to the latest music and do the things that kids their age would do. They would have the certain individuality aspects of their personality that would generally be the type to shop in Top Man, Topshop, etc. Would enjoy the type of products advertised in my magazine, things such as CDs, DVDs, new technology and clothes labels. My magazine contains exclusive interviews from top stars that will attract the audience. It also includes competitions of free tickets to be won to the type of concerts and show my target audience would love. I have made it attractive to buy, as it has purple, black and pink colour scheme which all work together and will attract females and some males. I have also used fonts and pictures to make it look more appealing. The uses and gratification theory also applies here, as audiences will read magazines for 4 things in particular: information, personal identity, entertainment and social interaction. And I think the audiences will find all 4 of these in my magazine. It has features and articles that will entertain the readers, but it will also have the content like new artists and tour reviews that will help my audience to escape if they are interested in the story. Other selling techniques would be the use of new media like mobile phone apps. The audience had the option of joining the Edge magazine page on Facebook, and the magazine had its own website to join. I have learned a lot about technologies from the process of constructing the product. I used Photoshop to create my whole magazine. This was good as it helped me so much in the production stage, from adding a masthead to copying and editing an image. It helped create a real media product. I learned a lot of different techniques in Photoshop, one of them being how to remove a background from your image. Once I learned to do this, it was easy and effective and made the pictures look really professional. Another technique I used was text wrapping. I had never really used this tool before, but I'd seen it done in real magazines and it looked really effective. It was really easy to use once you knew what buttons and tools to press. It helped me shape my architectural text around the images and look more stylised and professional. I also created effects to my different texts. I chose a font for my master, then used the effects tool to create drop shadows and make the masthead really stand out and look bold. I also used a variety of different tools when editing images for my photo shoot. I used tools like Smart Blur to give an airbrush effect and also changed contrast to make them really stand out. There are many benefits of using this kind of technology in the process. It really helped me to create my magazine to the standard I wanted. It had every tool possible that I could explore with, even if I didn't use it. I still learnt a lot about using different things, and it will definitely help me in the future having this Photoshop skill. Looking back at my preliminary task, I thought I have learned a lot in the progression from the final product. I started off by making a monthly school magazine. I took about 4 pictures in total, which were all in the classroom or around school, of the same people, and included about 4 cell lines, which all had similar font and there was no variation in size or text. I chose basic fonts and basic colour scheme, and it looked really basic. It didn't look like a real magazine, and this is what taught me to make my real product as real to life as I could. I took skills I'd learned or reminded myself from the first task. I put it in all my music magazine, and I'm really glad at the final result. I was glad that I was able to look back at the previous work and see how far I'd come in making my real product. It was really encouraging to see and will definitely help me in the future.